Kia ora, my name's Nicolina and I'm going to tell you about my wonderful, amazing trip to Canada as part of the Global Leadership Exchange thanks to IHC. Here I am with the rest of the disabled cohort from Aotearoa, New Zealand, minus Matt Frost, and I met Fionn from Open Futures Learning and other stuff that he does. I was a bit starstruck. I went to a 2-day match at Unity in White Rock, BC, to go to the Lived Experience Leadership and Advocacy match. The reason I wanted to go to that one was because more people with intellectual disability, and also to see their amazing co-living housing initiatives. I was definitely not disappointed at Unity. It was truly amazing. One of the things I was really impressed with was their self-advocacy group, Self Advocates of Semiamu. They did a lot of fundraising and advocacy for other causes. In the last year they contributed over 1,000 volunteer hours and raised over $12,000 for which they donated to the community. They do the fundraising to support causes, to help out in any way they can, spread awareness of what they can do, and because the community does the same for them. One member said, "We are part of the community and the community is supposed to support one another." They act almost like politicians themselves and attend a lot of community events. They need to go and be present in the community to be seen and build relationships. One of the things I was really impressed with was that they fundraised to have an accessibility mat put on Canada's longest pier. The pier is a tourism attraction in itself, and it's great to raise the profile of accessibility in this way. Also that their advocacy benefits everyone in the community and beyond. They also fundraised to provide a beach wheelchair that is available for anyone to use. I had the good fortune of going to visit the Chorus Apartments. This is Unity's second apartment block. They already have another one called Harmony. So here's a floor plan. It's actually 6 stories high, so the 4 stories just gives you a flavour. The different colours represent different layouts. They offer from a studio apartment up to a 3-bedroom. And then the blue figures show where people with intellectual disability are living. So they're living right across the apartment complex on all the floors. They have options for fixed rent, income related rent and market rent, and all tenants are interviewed for culture fit. Even if you're paying market rent, you can't live there unless you're willing to give your neighbour with intellectual disability a cup of sugar. The mixed rent categories enable community, and there are frequent whole building events. A funny story, people with intellectual disability could pick the apartments that they wanted first, but they all wanted the top floor with the best views. But Unity had to say, "We want you all mixed in with everyone else." The support arrangement at Chorus is different to anything I've seen in New Zealand, and something that we could potentially learn from. There are 20 people with intellectual disability living at Chorus. There are 2 people on call from 9 AM to 10 PM 7 days a week. No one is based on site. One person is based at Unity, which is across the car park, and one person can be out and about with people. It can be group supports, like who wants to go out to a movie and those who want to go out together with support. They do not provide any particular number of hours of support to any of the residents. Rather, support is provided on an as-needed basis, and they often do support by text or FaceTime. There is an emergency contact after hours or call 911. People who need additional support can use their own provider. We visited Chorus Apartments and they are as nice as they look in this promotional image. They also have bookable shared spaces which can be for community events or birthday parties, family get-togethers or anything. The part I was really inspired by was that the Director of Inclusive Living lives at Chorus himself with his wife and 3 children. I was thinking about how we create shared spaces and how we can ensure our leaders experience how it is for the people we support. Unity does quality of life research on tenants at their apartments, and they're bold enough to compare quality of life with the general population. So here's some information about personal development, material well-being, physical well-being, emotional well-being, social inclusion, interpersonal relations, rights, and self-determination. And as you can see, in most of the categories, people who live at Chorus are doing as well or better than people in the general population. If I'm ever just gone and not living in New Zealand anymore, I'll be at Kwantlen Polytech University with my besties, Dr. Fiona Whittington-Walsh and her research assistant, Andrew Miller. Dr. Fiona developed the Including All Citizens pathway, one of the first 4-credit fully inclusive programs. IACP does not adapt or modify courses. It teaches those courses using universal design for learning principles. That means students are working towards a mainstream qualification, in this case their Faculty of Arts certificate. There are 10 academic courses to choose from, with a total of 30 fully transferable credits. The 10 courses are across different subjects so that students can repeat the year whilst learning new content every year. I've already committed to going back to Canada and learning more about their success. I also had the pleasure of visiting L'Arche. L'Arche is a worldwide organisation that began in France in 1964. Claudio and Fifi showed me around. They had super flash apartments. Unfortunately, the shared living areas had very hospital vibes. There were 8 rooms for core members and 3 rooms for friends in each of the homes. What I did like was that residential and supported living were in the same apartment, enabling smooth transitions and maintenance of community as people's needs change over the course of their lives. I was thinking about how we can ensure community continuity throughout life stages. Again, the disability services that I saw in Canada were very flash compared to what we have in New Zealand. I love the community cafe run at L'Arche. It's 1 morning a week. The core members run it. They take the orders. The menu is just what's on the coffee maker, which also fluffs milk instantly. They come back and press the button, make the coffee and take it back. The coffees are just $1 to cover costs. This is another way that L'Arche creates community, and everyone is welcome. I was also interested in the spiritual support offered at L'Arche, which is something we often miss out in New Zealand. The global leadership experience is a great opportunity, and the match is the best part. You get to meet people in a smaller group for a longer period of time and really learn about their values. GLE is going to be in Australia 2028. We need to send people with intellectual disability from New Zealand. Australia might be our best chance to make this happen.